All right, good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here today. My name is Ann Lesser, and I'm the President and CEO of Invest in Education Foundation. We are thrilled to have such an incredible crowd here with us today as we celebrate National School Choice Week and talk about the importance of expanding educational opportunity. At Invest in Education, our mission is very simple. We believe that financial limitations in a child's zip code should not stand in the way of a high-quality education. We are grateful for this opportunity to gather here in Colorado to discuss the historic federal tax credit scholarship program that was signed into law last summer. This new program will expand educational options for families across the country when it launches in 2027. I want to share with you a little bit more about this historic opportunity. What's unique about this law is that it can benefit both private and public school students. This federal tax credit will generate additional funding to support millions of K-12 students around the country, giving families more options to meet their children's needs. Scholarships can be used for a wide range of educational choices, including tuition, tutoring, after-school programs, special education services, and many more. Importantly, these scholarships are funded entirely through private donations, not federal dollars, not state dollars. I'm going to say that again. Scholarships are funded entirely by private donations. Donors receive a 100% federal tax credit of up to $1,700 annually for donations to scholarship granting organizations. We are excited about the promise of this program and grateful to the leaders and speakers joining us here today to discuss its impact on the great state of Colorado. I am honored to introduce our first speaker, Norm Brownstein, the founder and chairman of Brownstein Hyatt Farber Schreck. For those of you who don't know Norm, and I'll be surprised if there's anybody in this room who doesn't, he is a widely respected leader in public policy and government relations. Norm and his team at Brownstein served as trusted advisors and strategic partners for Invest in Education as we advocated for this school choice law over the last 5 years. Norm's personal involvement in our efforts and his dedication to school choice are part of the reason we can stand here today to celebrate and discuss this historic opportunity for K-12 education. What some of you might not know is that Norm's dedication to helping underserved students goes further than his work with us, as he serves on the National Board of ACE Scholarships. Norm, we are grateful for your partnership, and thank you for joining us today. Please join me in welcoming Norm Brownstein.
Thank you very much. I would like to distract from my comments to you and think about all the great things that are happening here. I'd like to introduce the person that's made them happen here in Colorado, Governor Pollis, who has opted in to this bill and is the first Democratic state in the United States to do that. So, Governor Pollis.
I'm very excited about the philanthropic donations, the creativity, the benefit for kids that this will unleash. Colorado has a child care donation tax credit. So if you donate to an early childhood center in Colorado, we already have a refundable 50% credit. So I like to say Colorado thought of this idea, but ours is not, of course, is generous. It's 50%. It's off of state taxes, which we have very low state taxes. Thankfully, we've cut the income tax 3 times since I've been governor. Obviously, people care a lot more about their federal taxes because they make a bigger chunk out of their paycheck. What this allows every American taxpayer to do is basically to donate $1,700 to the charity of their choice that serves kids. You know, reasonable guardrails, 90% of the benefit actually has to go to the kids. It has to serve low, middle income kids, all the way up through middle income. Wide variety of services that can be provided. It can go to everything from meaningful summer school to tutoring to after school activities to scholarships to schools. Really, it's only our own creativity that can hold us back. Anything we can envision, this is a very powerful funding mechanism. Now, just 2 things on the funding mechanism. Obviously, I'm not somebody who supported H.R. 1. If I had been in Congress, I would have voted against it. It had a lot of bad things. This was not one of them. This is one that we can take advantage of because this unleashes additional resources for kids to their benefit. And as creative as we want to get in the philanthropic sector to be able to direct those resources, and ultimately being able to sell taxpayers, Coloradans, on which nonprofit they want to give to that reflects their values, reflects how they think best to help kids. You and I might agree with some of their decisions. We might disagree with others, just as we do other people's charitable donations today. But what this is it's a powerful incentive to make additional charitable donations. I like to think that somebody who's already donating $1,000 a year to childhood-related charities will now be able to give $2,700 a year because of this tax credit. Somebody who gives zero will be able to give $1,700. Now that's an educational item for taxpayers. We have to make sure people know that. That this is a refundable tax credit and that we encourage people to take advantage. I think many more states are going to come online. I'm proud that Colorado is the first Democratic state. Many other states are doing that. If they don't, it simply means that taxpayers in those states will still be able to donate to help kids, but the beneficiaries will be in other states like Colorado. So if there are other states that don't, I certainly encourage the residents of those states to donate to after-school activities and other types of great programs that benefit Colorado kids. I'm very excited about, again, the creativity in the philanthropic sector coming together for eligible nonprofits that'll be able to be the scholarship granting organizations that really help make a transformative difference in kids' lives. And that's why I'm excited about what this means for Coloradans. And I know that many Coloradans will be taking advantage of this tax credit to be able to do a little bit more for kids, investing in kids, closing the achievement gap, and providing real opportunities for kids across the country. So I want to thank all of you for your advocacy. Just yesterday, I did our state declaration for School Choice Week. Hundreds of parents gathered at the west steps of the Capitol. Some of you might have been there. And I declared our official declaration for School Choice Week. But I think that without the right resources, school choice can be an empty promise. And by empowering American taxpayers and Colorado taxpayers to be able to direct more of their resources to nonprofits that make a difference, it can make school choice more attractive, more compelling, and higher quality for middle and low-income kids who can benefit the most. Thank you all for your advocacy, and I look forward to working with you.
Well, fortunately, the governor came by today and gave you some of the thoughts that I was intending to give you. A much better advocate of that than myself. He has worked with us and done an incredible job to make sure that Colorado benefits from this great opportunity. I'm very happy to be here today, and I'm very happy to have supported ACE for a long time. They believe something that I truly believe, that every child should have equal access to quality education. And I arrived at this view largely through personal experience as someone who grew up in Denver without benefits of money or privilege. Somehow, through good role models and a lot of luck, I found a path to success, but I know I was one of the lucky ones. And we don't want to bet a child's future on luck. A good school, a solid education can have a miraculous effect on a kid's development and trajectory. I've seen this so many times with so many families over the years. And so many lawyers at my firm who benefited from a leg up or a scholarship. That's why I am very proud to work with ACE and with the Invest in Education Coalition over the past few years to enact this new federal scholarship tax credit law. It was not easy, believe me. We worked 4 years on this law with a lot of ups and downs along the way. But because of the perseverance of people like Norton Rainey and Ann, and Tony DeNicola, we can't forget about him, and some very, very capable people on my team, were able to marshal up a national coalition strong enough and loud and bold enough that Congress was forced to pay attention. And after 40 years of talking about national school choice, we finally have it. You've heard from the governor of the commitment of Colorado, which is very, very exciting to think about. We are the first Democratic state to opt into this program. And our citizens, even though we are a relatively small population state, will be the first Democratic state to be able to benefit. Is very exciting. I cannot tell you how receptive the governor and the governor's office have been to try to help us in every way they can to make this law work. I'm delighted as a result of our collective efforts that so many American children who might otherwise be relegated to a failing school will have a choice. Thank you.
Thank you, Norm. Our next speaker is Eric Billinger from ACE Scholarships. Eric and ACE play a critical role in removing financial barriers and empowering parents, and for over 25 years, ACE has demonstrated that providing more educational options for families leads to better outcomes for students. Eric and the team at ACE have been and continue to be a vital partner for Invest in Education, and we are grateful Eric is here today to share more about the work that ACE does not just here in Colorado, but throughout the country. Please join me in welcoming Eric.
Thank you, Ann. Appreciate it. Good morning, and thank you for being here. I'm Eric Billinger, Chief Development Officer at ACE Scholarships, and it's an honor to speak with you today during National School Choice Week with an exciting opportunity for Colorado's children, the upcoming federal tax credit for scholarships. ACE Scholarships was founded right here in our beautiful state of Colorado back in 2000, and we've always believed that every child should have access to a great education regardless of their family zip code. That mission has guided us for now 26 years and positions us as one of the leading scholarship granting organizations here in Colorado, providing more than $395 million to families in 13 states seeking a better educational fit for their children. And the results speak for themselves. Right here in Colorado, ACE scholars are flourishing, 2.9 times more proficient in 4th grade reading and 3.4 times more proficient in 8th grade math. Nearly all of our graduates are moving on to college, or they enter the trades, or they go to the military with confidence, with purpose, and with clear vision for their future. When we make education a priority, everything else follows. Poverty levels decline, crime rates diminish, and families start to thrive. Futures change. As we say very often here at ACE, changing education changes everything. We've seen that firsthand, and it reminds me of one particular ACE scholar, Dale Oblea. Growing up in a lower income neighborhood where his public school, the reading proficiency was 13%, Dale was having a hard time seeing his future. But through an ACE scholarship, Dale was able to pursue his dreams. He was accepted at Mullen High School, a great private school just outside of Denver, and Dale thrived. He graduated with a 4.2 GPA. He was a 4-time consecutive state wrestling champion. He was awarded a Daniels Scholarship, and he was admitted into Princeton University, where he is pursuing a career in orthopedic medicine. He is also seeking a spot in the U.S. Olympic team. And all this happened because he had a chance to choose the best educational path for him. Stories like Dale are what keep us going, striving to do more for our kids. The demand for educational choice is exploding, and parents are desperately seeking better options for their kids. That's why this federal tax credit for scholarships beginning next year in 2027 is such a gift for Colorado kids. It expands educational choice for all K through 12 students in Colorado, not just private education, but things such as tutoring and special education services. As we approach the rollout, I want to assure everyone here that ACE is ready. Our fully integrated end-to-end system ensures excellence and accountability at every stage. From technology to compliance to marketing and customer service, we deliver with transparency, accuracy, and a seamless experience for donors, for families, and schools alike. This is an exciting time for Colorado, and we commend Governor Pollis for opting in Colorado for the federal tax credit for scholarships. He is pioneering this initiative towards a future where every child in Colorado has access to an education that fits, inspires, and equips them for life. A program where kids simply win. And where money raised here in Colorado for this will stay in Colorado. Because ultimately, everything we do is for children. And when children thrive, our communities, our state, and our country prospers. Now I'd like to introduce you to Natasha Harris, who's a member of the ACE Governing Board and a co-founder and chairman of the board at Colorado Christian Academy, dear friend. And Colorado Christian Academy is one of our partner schools dedicated to serving lower income families and students. And she also is a very passionate advocate for school choice and knows that changing education changes everything. Please welcome Natasha Harris.
Good morning, everyone. How are we today? Good. I'm Natasha Harris, and I'm one of the founding members of Colorado Christian Academy. It's a private Christian school, preschool through 8th grade, located in South Denver. And we began our school in February of 2020, which we all know what happened in March of 2020. So while that seems like a little difficult timing and a rough inception, with a lot of hard work and resources and dedication, it's a thriving place for our students and their families. We started a private Christian school to provide a unique program offering, a schedule that focuses on the best academic environment for our kids, but also focusing on physical and emotional wellness, giving kids an opportunity to move so that their bodies and minds are ready for the school day. And as a private school, we witness the demand for school choice. Students attending our school represent over 8 different counties in Colorado. We have some parents that drive over an hour each direction to have their kids attend our school. And 22% of our population is on tuition assistance. And as we all know, school choice isn't an option for every family. So there's a gap between the private tuition, the tuition assistance schools can afford to pay, and what the family can afford to contribute. Gratefully, ACE Scholarships has been a partner with us. And they've been a partner with us since our inception in helping many of our families to meet this financial need. They provide that extra hand up. They want their kids to attend a great school, but they otherwise wouldn't have the financial means to do so. One of my proudest moments in starting a private Christian school was watching a 4-year-old who attended the ACE Luncheon. The ACE Luncheon, if you haven't been before, has over 1,500 different attendees. And a 4-year-old stood up and said thank you to the donors for opening the door for a great education for him and his family. Another family blessed by ACE Scholarships at our school was a mother that had to undergo emergency surgery while her husband was deployed. They had 3 kids attending our school, already on tuition assistance, but they needed more help because she was unable to work for a significant period of time. And her husband was away, serving in our military. ACE Scholarships came around them and facilitated scholarships for all 3 kids. And upon the 8th grader graduating from our school, he wrote a lengthy letter of thanks, saying, "Thank you for believing in me. Thank you for giving me the opportunity and believing in my educational potential." As a founder of a school, a donor, and a parent, I hear many of these stories of kids and families in need. and the success stories that ACE, as an example, has helped provide to people like Dale. Education is critical. It really is the means to permanently elevate kids from poverty. But we just haven't done enough for our students. There's a lot left to do. Our kids are waiting every single day, every single school year, for that door to open for them for a better education. National figures estimate that over 3 million kids desire moving schools. And whether that's to private schools within public schools or charter schools, they want something that fits their educational needs. And while ACE has provided over 120,000 scholarships, we have the opportunity now to do so much more with the federal tax credit for scholarships. I'm very excited about this opportunity because beginning in January 1 of 2027, $1,700 from donors, dollar for dollar, can go back into the state of Colorado and into education that will directly impact our children and their educational experiences here. Simply stated, rather than sending that $1,700 to the IRS, you can direct it to an organization where your values aligned so it actually goes directly to the kids that need it. As Eric mentioned, and thank you, Governor Pollis, for attending today, we have a governor who sees this unique opportunity and has opted into this tax credit. He's voiced his desire to direct these federal tax dollars back into our state, keeping the money here that will improve the educational experience for our Colorado students and for their families who so desperately seek it. I want to thank you all for having me here, and especially thank you to Invest in Education for hosting us all. I cannot emphasize enough the critical importance of this federal tax credit for scholarships and the single most impactful educational opportunity in our nation's history. We can redirect these donor dollars and put them to work immediately into education and into our state. This elevates the entire educational system. Parents select the schools for their kids, donor dollars actually fund the scholarships, and we can forever change and improve the futures of our children. Thank you.
Please join me in welcoming our next speaker, Kat Hendricks. Kat is a program and alumni director for Parents Challenge based in Colorado Springs, Colorado, where she leads initiatives focused on school choice, parent empowerment, and youth development. With over 10 years of experience in the school choice space, including 6.5 years at Parents Challenge, and as she began as a parent coordinator, she brings a deep understanding of the families and communities that she serves. Her background includes working at ACE scholarships and internships with both congressional and state offices. A graduate of the leadership program of the Rockies, Kat continues to advance education and civic leadership across Colorado. Please welcome Kat Hendricks.
Well, hello, everybody. Good morning. How are all of you? Good. Well, my name is Kat Hendricks, and I am the program director and alumni director for Parents Challenge. And just to kind of start off, I just want to say thank you to Ann Lesser and the Invest in Education team for all the hard work and dedication that they put into making this a possibility, and providing this opportunity here today. I also want to, on behalf of Parents Challenge, express our gratitude towards President Donald Trump for once again prioritizing education in America, and also to Governor Pollis for bringing this great opportunity here to Colorado. You know, I also want to shout out Congress because unintentionally, they actually are providing the Parents Challenge model to millions of Americans because of this. And let me explain what I mean by that, is that over the last 26 years, Parents Challenge has been the only privately funded educational choice nonprofit in the country that supports low-income families around their choice, whether private, public, charter, homeschool, online, micro school, we support all choice. At Parents Challenge, we do not advocate for any specific choice, school, or district. We advocate for parents choosing, because education is not one size fits all, and we believe that parents know their children better than anyone. And there would be no school choice without parental choice. So we are ecstatic about this new opportunity with ECCA, because it is going to provide us the opportunity to expand and to continue to serve the lower income families through our program, because our program is not just about giving out scholarships or grants. Our program is about empowering parents. We are not a handout organization. We are a step up organization with accountability measures and engagement with families to make sure that as a community, we are helping to build the next generation of engaged and empowered and productive citizens. So, on top of all of that, we've also expanded our program and are excited to be able to use these dollars to continue that look. Our empowerment sessions are the secret sauce for our program, because it's about engagement. Because we know that when empowered and engaged parents make the best decisions educationally for their children. So they're more intentional, they're more engaged, and they're more informed. And again, we are a community organization, which means that our program is open to the community at large. This program is going to be a game changer in the educational space. This is about transformation, not reformation, because what once worked, we need something a little bit different now. So we are excited to engage in this program, support it, because we're ready to make education great again. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Kat. Thank you, Natasha. And thank you, Eric. Our final speaker today is Tricia Sullivan, the Executive Director at Seeds of Hope. We are not just celebrating National School Choice Week this week, but it is also National Catholic Schools Week. And for 30 years, Seeds of Hope has been providing need-based scholarships to help students attend Catholic schools throughout Denver. Through their work, Seeds of Hope creates pathways for students to thrive academically, personally, and spiritually. We are grateful to have Tricia and her team as partners as we work together to expand opportunities for families across the state. Please join me in welcoming Tricia.
What a great day for Colorado. I am so impressed with being here in person, hearing Governor Pollis say he's opting in. That is just epic and a day I'll never forget. I'm honored to be up here, just say a little bit about Seeds of Hope. Seeds of Hope has been around for 30 years. Our mission has always been to help the low-income families and to help them get into our Catholic schools. In 30 years, we have provided over 18,000 scholarships, and the total there is about $48 million that has been going into these children, believing in these children and letting them attend Catholic schools. This past year, we provided 1,500 scholarships at $2.8 million. We are blessed to be in the state of Colorado, where there's a lot of support and a lot of great SGOs taking care of the children, because we all know it's about the children. The number one reason people do not able to attend our Catholic schools is the cost. These families, on average for Seeds of Hope, make about $50,000. That's for a family of 5. So you can imagine 2 parents, 3 children, stretching their dollars so darn thin just to make a living and survive. But they also come up with, on average, $2,000 per child, because they're that embraced in knowing that the solution for their children is into a Catholic school or an education school that's going to transform them and be a part of the morals and values that the families believe in. We are very proud to help these families because of their sacrifices. And that is really important to us and is important to our founders for 30 years. Like you have heard about these testimonies, these kids go through hardships. They go through medical issues. They go through financial problems, losses of jobs. And they don't have much money from their family, but their family says nothing is more important than my child's education. This is the way they get out of their cycles of poverty. This is the way that they have hope for their future. We are beyond blessed. So what we did a few years ago is we said, well, we believe in our cause. We believe that we're making an impact, but let's find out what a study says about our alumni. Let's do an independent study. So we hired QREM in town and said, how do our alumni do, right? Tell me how they do in their high school GPA. Tell me how they do in preparing them for the future. Well, we were amazed at the results. And for a high school GPA from our Catholic schools, their high school GPA compared to the lower income families that are attending high school, 2.61. But the alumni from Seeds of Hope, 3.51. That's about a point difference. And they're going to the schools we want them to go to that are expanding on their educational opportunities. That is a big result. Morals and values, the stats came out again, significant. You know, the kids are coming out well-educated and well-formed. And one of my favorites, because it's beautiful to send a kid to a Catholic school and know that they come out full of their faith. Well, our faith in the Catholic education of our alumni is 90% of them are practicing. 90% are going to Mass. 90% love their church, getting their sacraments. And that is a beautiful statistic. Colorado Catholics, about 65% go to Mass and do those things. But when you see our alumni at 90%, what a jump, what a blessing. And to speak just in general in Catholic in Colorado, there's 600,000 Catholics in our state of Colorado. So if we do the math of 1,700, that's about $1 billion. You know, it's an interesting people that we should be chatting with about, and will be chatting with about, to invest in these children and to make a difference. So we're very excited about all this exciting news that's going on here in Colorado. And I want to end with a quote that I love. Nelson Mandela once said, "Education is the most powerful weapon you can use to change the world." Together, we are all changing the world, one child at a time. Thank you, and God bless.
Thank you, Tricia. Thank you for being here with us today. Thank you to our speakers, and a special thanks to Governor Pollis for coming, opting in Colorado. We are so excited and encouraged about the opportunities for K-12 students throughout the state. This is a significant moment in school choice history, and this law is an important step for empowering parents and for putting kids first. Thank you guys so much for joining us. We're so excited about this for the state of Colorado and look forward to continuing our work together. Thank you.